Hello my loves, I hope you're doing well and welcome back to my channel. My name is Christina and here on this channel we're writing a book. If you're also a creative person, if you're also a writer, please like and subscribe. That will mean an absolute world. With this said, let's begin. If you're new here, I'm not a full-time writer. I have a full-time job. I do my writing on the side in my spare time. On top of that, I also have other creative hobbies that I really want to keep pursuing. So my life is very busy creatively because I have a full-time job. Sometimes I get burnt out. And this is what actually happened leading into this video. I stopped writing for about 3 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, because I was just so tired and I was so depleted. And I was actually so depleted even physically. Like I couldn't do anything after work other than climbing into bed and resting. That's quite a burnout. I started this video with the intention of getting back into writing and keeping myself accountable. As you know, I love to keep myself accountable on this channel. Like this is one of my primary reasons for sharing my writing journey here. But I also realized that I am probably not the only one who does creative pursuits on the side and gets burned out and has to work around it, has to get over it and get back into the creative thing. Because for us creatives, expressing ourselves creatively is essential. Otherwise, our soul literally withers and our creativity festers inside and it's just incredibly unhealthy. This video is going to be a realistic week in the life of somebody who is recovering from burnout that is not caused by my writing. It's literally caused by life, by my full-time job. I'm not saying my job is bad. It's actually better than some other jobs that I had in the past. It takes a lot of energy and dedication and it is a no small task. And I had to do some problem solving and it just took so much out of me. And I am a person that is prone to anxiety and depression. I think I spoke about this on my channel. Anxiety, depression, burnout. I do have to juggle my full-time job and my mental health and my creativity. This is gonna be a week in the life of somebody who does just that. And hopefully, obviously you enjoy it and you find it entertaining, but also I really hope that it inspires you and I really hope that it helps you get back into your creative flow if you are experiencing burnout or if you're currently out of your creative flow. This is what real life looks like. If you have a creative side gig, you can still write and you can write well, but sometimes you're going to fall out of your creative flow. And this is nothing to beat yourself up for. This is something to heal from and overcome, to replenish your creative juices, your emotional energy, to replenish yourself, basically to fill up your own cup. This is what we're going to be doing here. And I kind of already took some time off, so I did attempt to fill my cup. And so in this video, I will be attempting to get back into writing. And you will see that it was not easy. It really was not easy. Did I do it? Did I get back into my creative flow? How many words or thousands of words did I write this week? I guess you'll need to stay and watch this video to find out. And I'm really excited for you to watch this video and see this realistic representation of what it's like to pursue a creative gig on the side. Let's get into it. While we're waiting for my food to cook, I'm just gonna show you a few books that I picked up from the library just on my way home because I'm so excited about them. Look at that. This is called the definitive source book of the 1930s fashion. You probably don't know this about me because I never mentioned that before, but I love vintage fashion and I love historical fashion. 1940s and 1930s are some of my favorite decades in terms of fashion. And there's another one, the definitive source book of the 1940s fashion.
And my neighbor's dog is just barking in the hall, so I just ignored that.
Usually when I place a hold at the library, I go all in. Today is not an exception. I picked up this one, Meeting Fashions of the 1940s. Since we're talking about vintage fashion, I want to put it out there. I love vintage fashion, but I don't love vintage values. The next book that I picked up is film noir style. I am going all in with my research. I honestly love vintage fashion on men. I feel like that suit and a hat, it just looks so attractive. Another book that I picked up is called Elegance in the Age of Crisis. It's a book about the 1930s fashion.
Oh wow, somebody really destroyed this.
And the last book that I picked up today is called The Duke's Daughter. It's like a novel set somewhere. I actually don't know that much about this book. I have no idea why I put it on hold. I am going to read it and we're going to find out. One of the reasons why I'm talking about these things on this channel that is technically dedicated to writing is creativity is so important for growth, for self-development, for self-expression. I do want more people to find their creative spark, exercise their creative talents and abilities, and this is why I'm talking about all things creative, not just writing. Sketching, knitting, vintage fashion, like this is also art. Like dressing up in a way is like the art of performance. There's so many ways to be creative. Since we're talking about fatigue and mental health here in this video, being creative is so beneficial for your mental health. Quality time spent with yourself. Also, you guys, I just realized something that absolutely shocked me. So I used to work very early shifts at my day job, and I used to be done at like 1 p.m. or 2 p.m. And recently my schedule switched, and now I start a little bit later, but I also get off later. As we were chatting with you, as I was starting to film this video, it was literally 5 p.m.
But in my mind, I was still thinking that I had a whole day ahead of me.
And I'm shocked that by the time I'm gonna be done with my dinner, it will be like 6 p.m. But I feel like this is also gonna make this video more realistic. There's a lot of people that get off work at 5, and so I feel like you'll be able to relate to it better. Let's just roll with it and let's see what we can accomplish and how much. So when it comes to editing videos, even like after years now of editing videos, I still somehow expect myself to just go straight into it, but it doesn't actually work like that. You need to like transfer the files, you need to organize on the hard drive, and then you need to open the app, you need to like organize them there. You don't just like sit down and magically produce a video. It takes hours of work. Okay, so the time is now 9:30 and I am done with 12 minutes and 29 seconds of my video. I'm gonna go to bed because I unfortunately have to get up, ideally before 7 a.m. Let's get on with that night. Hello my loves, it's the next day today, and today I got off work really late. I was supposed to leave at 3 and I left at 4, and now it's 5 p.m. and I literally just got back. Took a shower and now I'm about to have dinner. So quite frankly, I don't think I'm gonna do any writing or editing the video today. And to be quite honest, when I was on my way home, I was thinking to myself that maybe I should just scrap the whole video for the reason of deciding to not do any writing or editing today. It felt obviously like a failure in a way, and I was thinking to myself that maybe I should pick up this video on some other week when I'm actually able to write consistently. But then
The whole point of this video, as I said yesterday, was to show you the realistic situation
of working full-time, taking care of my mental health, and taking care of other responsibilities. If I'm going to be scraping my videos every time something doesn't go according to plan, then I think I'm never gonna even make any videos or put out any videos, because no week is actually perfect. And honestly, for those of you out there who have a full-time job, who have a family, like other responsibilities, who also do creative things on the side, or maybe building a business or a side hustle on the side, you know that no week is perfect. You can't always do everything perfectly, and you can't always show up 100% in like every area of your life. I saw this meme on Pinterest the other day. It says, after trying harder, you need to try a little softer. And I feel like this is where I am right now. I am so used to being so hard on myself, and I'm so also used to pushing and pushing and pushing through tiredness and burnout until I have nothing left. But that is not sustainable. I think what's sustainable is to listen to my system, and if my system is depleted, I really need to go slower. No matter how much I want to like put out perfect videos where I do my full-time job and then write for hours, it's just not the reality of things. So I decided to continue with this video. I know it's only just day 2 and we're already struggling with self-doubt. But again, this is the reality of things. And if this can help someone to feel better about themselves and their creative progress and their day-to-day, then honestly, the purpose of this video will be achieved. But yeah, we are not going to do any writing today and we are not going to do any editing. I'm actually gonna have dinner and I'm gonna be in bed. I'm gonna practice my knitting, which I think counts as a creative hobby, but also obviously is completely unrelated to the purpose of this channel. It's part of my creative process, maybe a bit of a detour, but it's still something creative that I do to replenish my soul. However, with this said, I am not going to like abandon my story completely. There's 2 tips that I have for you. 2 tips, no 4. There's 2 tips that I have for you in regards to how to keep yourself in the flow when you are depleted, when you don't have time to dedicate to writing, or when you just have to like not write for whatever reason. First of all, always keep thinking about your story. Never forget about it. Like, always keep thinking about your characters. Sometimes I even just say the characters' names in my head to keep that connection going. And allow the characters to talk to you. Allow the characters to talk to each other. And whenever you get ideas, whenever you get snippets of conversation, whenever you get ideas about the story development, just jot them down. Oh yeah, the other thing that I wanted to say is so important, so crucial, and that is allow your creativity to flow and don't stop yourself when your creativity starts going to different parts of the story, different characters, when it starts jumping from one character to the other. And I'm talking about specifically allowing your creativity to flow during the time when you don't have time to dedicate to writing. For instance, you, as I said, keep thinking about your characters and suddenly you start getting ideas about what happens like in the beginning and then in the middle and then in the end, and suddenly you start getting those ideas about like different characters and different turning points. Just allow yourself to go there. Like, this is where your creativity is going in the moment. Allow yourself to go there and don't forget to jot it down. The reason why I'm talking about this is because I am currently at 50,000 words in my manuscript. But the conversation between 2 characters that I'm thinking about at this very moment that I'm going to go and jot down actually happens at the very end of the first book. I think it is very important to think of your story as a whole. I do like a structured approach where you go step by step from like one scene to the next, but while you're working on that, within that framework, it is very important to let your creativity flow. Actually, I think this applies even when you are just sitting down and writing your manuscript. When you're trying to figure something out, and then when you're like writing something, even when you're in the middle of the scene, and then suddenly a brilliant idea pops into your head, or like a lead in a way pops into your head in regards to like story developments, maybe at the very end of the story or at some other point in the story. Just follow that lead, jot it down. That happens because your creativity, your creative self is sending you a message. This is going to enrich your story. So I always think of my story as a whole. Those are the 2 tips that I have for you for those times when you don't have time to write, when you don't have the strength to write, when you don't have the mental health to write. Just keep at it, and keep thinking about your story. Even if you don't have time to write, even if you're not writing for like 2 weeks or 2 months or something, don't allow yourself to think that you have given up on your story or you put it on hold. As long as you keep it active in the back of your mind. What is that expression? Goodness gracious, I really need to look it up. As long as you keep thinking about it. On your computer, there are certain processes that just run on the back of everything else. This is what I want you to get into the habit of. I hope this helps. Never really had the miniatures in her case. This lady is not really in a wheelchair. I cracked it! I'm so smart. Make a dash for it. She made a dash for it! I knew it! Everything that they're saying, I knew it. Hello my loves, I hope you enjoyed this video and I am back in the same chair, wearing the same outfit. Today is actually the 7th day. I just did some necessary errands in the morning and in the afternoon. It's about 3 p.m. right now. As you saw, it was difficult. It was not easy. I think the first couple days I didn't do any writing whatsoever because I was still so tired after work. After those 2 days, I contemplated not filming anymore and deleting all the files that I had already filmed because I was scared that this video was going to be a failure in a way, even though you may tell me that there is no such thing as failure because everything is part of the process. However, in my head, I think I was worried that I wasn't going to write anything, and I didn't want to show this to you guys. I didn't want to show it to you that I was so tired to write anything at all. This channel is dedicated to writing, and this was one of the reasons why I didn't want to include a week of quote-unquote failure. But also I was judging myself. I was really judging myself, and I contemplated not filming, not sharing this, filming another video on some other week, sometime in the future. You know how we always say one day, sometime in the future, when I feel better. But I urged myself to not do it. I urged myself to not scrape the video, and I urged myself to try one more time, just keep filming for one more day. And then, believe it or not, I think it was on the 3rd or on the 4th, I sat down and I wrote 500 words. I probably should have thought of it as a win, but on that day I actually didn't think of it as a win because I was worried that it was just a one-off and I wouldn't be able to do another writing sprint on the next day. Because after I wrote those 500 words, I was really tired, and I was just worried that I wouldn't have like strength, emotional, physical, creative strength to write again. And so I think on the following day was the day when I didn't film, which you probably saw, but I still wrote on that day. But because I was so worried and I was judging myself, I decided to not film. And I wrote about 500 words again, which was fantastic. And I think after that, I started to feel more confident. On the following 2 days, I filmed myself writing a lot. I think the most productive day this week was yesterday, and I wrote almost 1100 words. So overall, I wrote, I think, about over 2000 words this week, which is a huge win. Because I started this week not being able to write. I started this week feeling really tired and depleted and very much out of my creative flow and worrying that this pause that I took from writing was going to get longer. And I'm so glad that I picked up my camera or my phone in my case and started filming. And I'm so glad that I have a small community here with whom I can share my creative progress and those realistic days in my life, the realistic parts of my creative process. Even though my community is really small, I am still so thankful to each and every one of you. I have 17 subscribers as of now. Thank you so much for being a part of my community. Thank you so much for helping me keep myself accountable. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope it inspired you. And if you are currently struggling with your creative flow, or if you're worrying that maybe you don't have much time, or you're not writing enough, I hope it puts your mind at ease. Because every single word that you put on a page counts towards your final word count. Every 500 words that I write counts towards 1,000 words. And every 1,000 words that I write eventually counts towards 10,000 words. And every 10,000 words obviously counts towards the finished manuscript. That made me feel so encouraged. Even 500 words matters. It might not seem much to you, or it might be less than you usually write per day. Before I experienced burnout, I would usually write at least 1,000 per day. So obviously 500 words is less, but every 500 words counts towards 1,000. If you write for 2 days, you're gonna have 1,000 words. And every 1,000 words that you write counts toward 10K words. And every 10K words counts towards your final word count. Even if you write 250 words, that also counts. Anything that you write counts. I am so excited that I did that, and I feel way more connected to my characters and to my story now. Like, I never really fully disconnected, but a longer pause would have disconnected me more. Like, the longer you are not writing, the more you're disconnected from your story. So I feel more connected, I feel more in the flow. I actually feel stronger, finally. I feel stronger creatively and I feel stronger physically. I'm gonna close this video here. I hope you enjoyed this video and let me know in the comments what your thoughts are, if you enjoy these types of videos or if you enjoy sit down videos more, and also what kind of videos you want to see from me going forward. And I would also really like to hear about your creative progress, your wins and your successes. Please share all of that in the comments. Thank you so much for watching this video. Again, thank you so much for being here. I hope you have a wonderful day and I hope you take good care of yourself. Please like and subscribe. This will mean an absolute world. Thank you so much and I will see you in my next video.